located at 250 New Rutherford Ave here in Charlestown, and you can see our website here, northwindtraders.com. Our team members are Douglas Leacom, Maria Balseiro, which is me, Nahom Haley, and Sarita Turner. And Nahom will be talking later about what each one of us does. Okay, so about our company mission and objectives. What we do, basically we're an international gourmet food distributor, and we import and export especially foods from all around the world. Our products include meat, seafood, dairy products, beverages, and produce. So about our mission, keeping track of customers, vendors, orders, and inventory is a very critical task for us. And because of that, we have recently purchased a database created with Microsoft Access 2013. And this database will help us manage our customers, suppliers, products, and orders.
Hello everyone, I'm home again. The team members and roles are here. Douglas is a database manager. His task is to ensure that the database operates correctly, make sure information is protected and backed up, and monitor data entry procedures. Maria is a database administrator. She troubleshoots the database, ensure all the data complies with the legal regulations. And me as a database developer, I design and implement database technologies and analyze database efficiencies. And CIT128 she's a data analyst. She collects and analyzes data. In previous steps, we did this parts in the previous project. As you can see, we created a new queries, fixed already existing queries, worked with the reports. Now we'll continue working on it. We implemented several techniques to improve the hotel chain and Northern Traders database. The first step is to insert input mask to the phone field. As you can see, we worked on right here you can see the input mask, the procedure and the final result. On the second step, we changed the required fields to yes for the city and address field, and set up a lookup with the location table. As you can see here, we use for yes for required field, and you can see that drop out name for lookup wizard. And the third step, we insert the validation rule for main party field. So we use the validation rule and the validation text. So we insert 78 intentionally, so we can see the validation text. So the final result will be like that. And on step 4, we extracted months from the table and show only month's name instead of the number. So you can see the last column is just says that's just the months. On step 5, we add a field to show only year, which is the last one. Here we added additional title for Spanish speakers in the title of courtesy table, and changed the title. So we added those 3 titles, and we also modified for Claudia, and you can see that over there. And step 8, we added customized input mask, which is 5 non-numeric characters, and changed the company information. As you can see, the input mask doesn't exist, so we have to customize it. So we used this line right here, letter line and capital L 5 times, so we can see the result over there. So we use that to show this result. And we calculate the year based on these functions. the result would be here, right here. On step 10, we added a parameter to ask on the runtime, to ask the year on runtime. So when you run the query, it will ask you the year. So we used 2004 as an example. So the extracted data looks like this, only for 2014 and 2004. On step 11, we created a calculated feed net, round the result of the net, and tell us whether the result is profit or loss. So the net is look like that, and we rounded the result to, as you can see, 5640 is like rounded to 56. And based on that data, we used the profit or loss field to tell us if it is a profit or a loss based on the rounded field. So this is the Word document. There's a question included, so we answered a few of those, and looks like this. Thank you, guys.
So we were asked to help the company create a database that had more reliable information. We made changes to the customer and employees table and created new queries for the request of the business needs. We first started by opening the employees table to add an input mask to the home phone field. To do this, we had to click the home phone field on the table and click the input mask box in the field properties and pick the settings that we wanted to add, which is right here. That was the input mask being entered. Next, we were asked to add criteria for like Spanish-speaking employees. So we did that on the lookup field. When we got the final results, we were able to change Claudia's to that for Spanish-speaking. We were asked to create import mask for the customers tables, for the customer IDs field, so that only 5 non-numeric characters showed. We did this by creating a new import mask. We used the formula created in LLL. The symbol is to tell us that we're going to be using letters to access, and LLL is letting us know how many places to allow. And that was what it looked like on the import mask after we created it. For the customer, we added 2 new fields to the revenue. We added a field to the revenue query. We first started off by adding a field name, nets, that calculated the difference between the revenue and total, and round to the nearest dollar, and that was the equation. We used an expression builder, and then we had to add another one to the revenues for profit or loss. And this field was to show profit for greater than 0 and loss for below 0. And that's the formula we used. We used an if formula. And that's the final results for the net. It showed, and then for the profit, it showed profit or loss.
Alright, so now moving on to products, reports, and forms. We were asked to create and edit a form and a report based on user reports. So the first step was to take an already existing form which was called products by category and add a subform to it. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, there we go, sorry. And so to achieve this task, we used the subform tool of the controls group, and with the subform wizard, we created a subform based on the products table. And from that table, we used the following fields: product name, quantity per unit, unit price, units in stock, and units on order. So as you see here, this is the result, or subform is inserted into the products by category form. The next task was to work with the products report. First, we had to group the records by company name, and we did this using the groups and sort tool, as you see in the image here. And finally, we added a new column to the report named net, and this column would show the unit price minus the product cost, and we formatted this column as currency with 2 decimal places, which would be this column here on the right, as you see, with currency format and 2 decimal places. Okay, so next, the International Gourmet Traders. It's a small specialty foods distribution firm, and they needed to send their current product line list to new potential suppliers. So what we had to do was to create several output formats for the product line list so that suppliers could receive the information in any format, which would be Excel, Word, PDF, and Access. So the first thing we did was to export it into the database into an Excel workbook document that is an XLSX file. So we did that with this tool here on the right, and you can see on the left the output on Excel. Next, we exported it into a Word document, which the final output would be a docx file. And so to achieve this, what we had to do first was to export the database into an RTF file, and we did this with that tool there, and then into a docs file, and that on the left is the final output. So next, export the database into a PDF, the table into a PDF file format. So this would be the tool PDF or XPS, and here the final, how it looks once we exported it into a PDF. And finally, export it into another Access database, which would be a ACCDB file. So what we did to achieve this was make a table of our query, save that table as an object, and then export it into Access. And you see on the left the output.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Douglas. I'm going to talk about the macros implemented and also how we designed an SQL command and added to our report. First, we designed 7 buttons which are going to filter the results on the employees form. As you see, any of these buttons has a macro, and that macro is going to filter all the forms. For example, for employee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and also the button X is going to remove all filters at once. I'm going with the next one. These are the results. If you click number 1, it's going to filter all the employees that are with the employee ID number 1. As you see, the results for employee number 1 are 4. And if you remove the filter, you're going to have only 50 employees. Next one. Okay, then we upgraded the customer report. One thing that I did here, I didn't write the SQL. I just went to color design, added the table, use the asterisks, then put the field that I want, put the criteria, run the query, see the results, go to SQL, copy the SQL, and add it here. So it's easier, and also it improves the performance of the developer. If I only write the SQL command, it's going to take me like between 5 to 8 minutes to write everything. Just trying to remember the fields, like, okay, what is the field for customer, for country, how is the name, I can't remember. But by this way, it's going to be easier and faster. We just copy, paste, run. We use Shift and F2. We copy the SQL, and then we got our results. What does the SQL query does? First, it's going to ask us, okay, what is the country that you want to filter? Okay, in this case, USA. then it's going to run the query. It's going to show us the results on the report customers, and we're going to have our results. Okay, before that. Okay, no, I'm going to talk later.
With conclusion, we're done.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. We use several techniques like improve the database and to enhance the user experience. We, with the last, okay, I'm going to return just a little bit. By implementing these buttons, we help the user to simplify the filtering options. So the user doesn't have to use the access option, just have to click the button and everything is filtered. Same here. The user hasn't to do anything. Just click, open, put the command, and everything's done. Then we did data validations, actions, and specialized queries with SQL, as I said before, advanced reports and form and exchange data, which Maria told us, with importing to Excel, Access, Word, PDF, tuning the database and macros, which we use in the, what Nahon tell us. We use the analysis performance with the database documenter, and also we use SQL. Right now the company is asking us to improve, to create a new database, to create a whole new system because the company is growing up. So we are going to implement MySQL server. So the company, so every sales representative manager can access the database and the system from every part of the world. And also we are going to implement a PHP for the interface. So we are right now negotiating how long it's going to take, or how much it's going to cost. They are asking us the cheapest price because this is a beta. This is going only to be a test to see if we can improve, we can upgrade the database from MySQL to Oracle or to MySQL or to Microsoft SQL Server.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for attention.